Ooh, you smell it?
Yeah, what is that, death?
That is something dead.
Oof.
Oof. I assume there may have been a body in the house, but it's very, very stout.
What the f? He was just aiming the f at me, dude. He's like, nah, I'm calling it.
Hi, I'm on Lake Travis right now. We can't handle the boat. Hi, I'm at Lake Travis right now, outside of winds. Our sailboat has lost control. We do not have...
Most outdoor YouTubers will tell you the same thing, that no matter how well you plan, nature and people can throw things at you that no camera could ever prepare you for. These creators went outside to make content. Some of them found bodies, some found weapons. One found something at the bottom of a lake that brought out the bomb squad. Another called for help while falling from the sky. These are real stories, captured on real cameras, by real people who had no idea their day was about to fall apart. Tonight, we look at the most disturbing moments when outdoor YouTubers had no choice but to call 911. On April 20th, 2022, YouTuber lawn care juggernaut set out to do what he always did, offer free lawn mowing jobs to people who needed them. It was an act of kindness on what was supposed to be a normal day.
It's overgrown, but it's all dry. It's rain out. We're almost to leaf season. As you can see, this one's starting to turn yellow back here. And because we haven't had rain in 2 months, all the grass is shutting down and becoming dormant. If you are in the Tulsa area and you know of somebody that is in need, whether it's with a leaf cleanup or with a lawn service or whatever it might be, I will do my best to try to fit in as many people as I possibly can.
He noticed an abandoned house nearby and decided to mow it. No one answered the door, so he walked over to a neighbor to ask for permission to clean the place up.
Alright, so on this property, I'm coming in, trimming up all the bushes, mowing the grass. I noticed it was overgrown, and so I knocked on the door. There was no answer. So I knocked on the neighbor's door, see if I could find anything out about it, because it looked abandoned. Then I knocked at the neighbor's door across the street. No answer at either door. And then over to the property on the right, car pulls up, and it ended up being the resident over there. And I talked to him. He said, well, I think that house was foreclosed on. I haven't seen anybody coming and going for a while. And so at that point, I just figured, whatever, it's abandoned. I'm gonna come knock it out, make some content for you guys.
Once he got the green light, he got to work. He mowed, blew leaves, and cleaned up the yard just like any other job. But as he worked his way toward the back of the property, he discovered something was wrong. He began to smell something, the kind of smell that sits in the back of your throat and does not leave. He knew something was not right, and he made the decision to call the authorities.
Alright, so I'm gonna do my best to respect the person that lived here. I'm gonna clean up the front and make it look as awesome as I possibly can, and edge it up. But I can't go in the backyard again. The smell's very, very stout. I assume somebody knows because the windows are all open, and I assume they're airing out the house. But I will go ahead and notify authorities and just say, hey, I was at this property, I was doing some mowing, I smelled a strong smell at the house. You might just want to do a check. And
part of what pushed him to make that call was a memory from his childhood, a memory he had carried for years that told him, in moments like this, you do not ignore your gut.
When I was 10 years old, my grandmother passed away, and they didn't find her for about a week, and that's kind of how she was found. Is they did a property check. I tore my mother up. I don't want to talk about that too much, but because I understand the situation, I'm going to do my best to be extremely respectful with this.
He made the call. He told the cops exactly what he found and waited.
Hey there. I'm cutting a lawn at what I assumed was an abandoned property, just kind of taking care of a lawn in the neighborhood. And I was in the backyard, and I don't know if anybody knows, all the windows are open, so I assume there may have been a body in the house, but it's a very, very stout smell. So I just wanted to kind of give you an address, and that way somebody could do a wellness check just in case. It's in Tulsa. Yeah, I mean it's the smell of death. I mean the windows are open on the house, but I don't know. It's real strong in the back, so I don't know if it was recent or something. All right, thank you. Bye. Okay, so I just called for a wellness check. I can even smell it in the front yard, man. So I'm hoping nobody's in the house, but somebody will come and check it out. So I'm gonna do my part and clean up the front.
The police arrived and spoke with him directly. One of the officers confirmed what lawn care juggernaut had already feared. There was something in that backyard that should not have been there.
Just hang on 1 second. So, the person inside is deceased.
So there is someone is deceased in there. So they asked me to hang out for a bit, but I don't think I'm gonna be finish this one up, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah. So all right, so I'm gonna fill out this witness statement real quick, and then I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna leave it messy, but they're gonna have, you know, someone to.
Eventually, the explorer evacuated the premises because it was now officially a crime scene.
All I know is that the property is a crime scene. Yeah, I think that happens anytime somebody could have just from old age. I don't know, but because it is a crime scene, I'm gonna load up, head out. They've got my information if they need it, and that's this one. All right, so that's that property. I'm gonna leave it a mess, unfortunately. Like I said, it's a crime scene at this point. I wish I hadn't have cut this lawn on one hand, and on the other hand, I'm glad I did.
Picture this for a moment. No suspicious smell catches his attention. He finishes the job, packs up his equipment, and drives away without a second thought. Whatever was in that backyard stays hidden for another week, another month, maybe longer. How many people walked past that property without noticing? How many neighbors assumed the smell was just the corpse of an animal? Lawn care juggernaut's decision to trust what his nose was telling him, backed by a memory most people would have buried, is the only reason the truth came out when it did. Some discoveries only happen because one person refused to look away. On September 13th, 2025, YouTuber Sanborn Construction Group and a friend were sent to inspect an abandoned house in Detroit on behalf of an out-of-state investor. It was a job. Go in, assess the property, report back. Simple enough. And what they found would leave you as shocked as these explorers were. And even right before they stepped in, they knew this was no ordinary house. Everything about it looked shady.
So we're back at another property for a client of ours. They are out of New York. They found this one. They said, let's write it up. Let's get an estimate on it. We know their budget. I'm pulling up. I see all the windows are gone, front, back, side. That's before we even get inside. So let's see how we look inside.
It's your burner phone, Brandon.
Oh yeah?
I don't know about the batteries though, if those are worth taking.
Well, batteries are definitely worth taking. You can see already, even the steps. We're not even in yet,
Steps,
right?
windows, siding, landscaping.
You don't think you could keep this side?
This is by far one of the biggest weeds I've seen this year.
Detroit loves their...
But even though they knew this building was already designated as dangerous, when they stepped in, they didn't see anything incriminating at first.
So this was probably a room. They instead opened it up and made this all one big room.
It's been designated as a dangerous building.
Oh, has it really? So they might want to knock it over, huh? Usually dangerous building will eventually hit the demo list. They'll just knock it over because kids or whoever could come in here and get themselves hurt.
This is some of that fire from upstairs.
Oh yeah, so there's a fire upstairs, or there was a fire upstairs, and we'll show you guys that, but obviously they started ripping down a little bit.
Then they saw it, a small firearm sitting in plain sight on the floor. No attempt to hide it, no explanation for it. Just there, as if someone had left in a hurry and never came back for it.
Connor, It's a real.
Is that really? It's not a cap or anything?
Well, you feel it.
Oh yeah, that's real.
Just be careful. Don't shoot yourself.
There's got to be a way to open it, but I don't see like any form of a release. My is way newer than this.
There's
so I
another
don't know
one
how
over here.
this works.
There's another one. Probably just.
Think this is someone currently living here?
I don't.
The explorers wasted no time informing 911 what they had just found.
I'll call the cops.
Charlie 911, what is the actual emergency?
We're a contractor working in an area. We just entered a dwelling for the first time. We found 2 handguns in the house. We're at.
What cross street are they?
It's Rossiter and Kelly.
Rossiter and Kelly.
And what's your name?
My name's Frank.
Thank you. I have police requested.
Thank you.
You never know. They could be part of a previous crime. They could be just somebody stashing them to come back later and get them, because when you look through here, there's burner phones that Frank's found.
While they waited, one of the explorers kept talking through what they were seeing.
You can just tell it's in a general state of disrepair, right? Ceiling's gone, roof's got some issues. We can show you outside. It needs a new roof, needs windows, needs flooring, needs electrical, because everything's been stripped. Same here. I mean, that looks decently new. So at one point they might have run new HVAC in here, but they took out this, which is where your door would go. So typically this would be a bedroom with a door, but you can see right here, that's a little bit of the evidence of the fire. You see how black that is? There was more fire in here too, which we'll get to, but you can see just a little bit of smoke damage.
Eventually, the cops arrived and queried them while surveying the house.
Okay, cops are here. So we're gonna go outside and deal with that.
Hello. We're over here checking on a house for an investor, and I turned over some clothing and found 2 handguns. Okay. So I'll show you where they're at. I mean, I'm assuming they're real. I don't know anything about this. I got you. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
But they're heavy.
Yeah, I mean, first I thought it was a pop or something, but they're too heavy to be toys. I'm assuming they'll take it back to the shop. From there, they'll do some kind of test on it, fingerprint or bullet or something, I don't really know. See if it's linked to anything that they have open in their system, I would guess. I'll be right back. All right.
Why are all the neighbors out here staring at us?
Sandboard's in trouble.
I'm surprised, honestly, it's the first we found.
I found a shot.
Oh, that's true. I wasn't there for that one.
No.
But with the amount of time we've spent doing this and the amount of houses we've done, I'm surprised this is,
I wonder how many we've scooped up and thrown away.
and not noticed.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, when walls come down and stuff. And that was tucked in a wall, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought so.
Imagine they had pocketed that weapon, or simply kicked it aside and kept walking. 2 men, alone in a condemned building in Detroit, touching evidence in what could well have been a crime scene. The could have been loaded. It could have been connected to something far worse hidden elsewhere in that building. The moment they picked it up, they become part of whatever story that house was hiding. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is step back, make the call, and let the people with badges take it from there. This one is a little different. YouTuber Connor was streaming from outside his own home when he spotted something that made him freeze. A man nearby was holding something that looked, from a distance, like a weapon. The man had the look of someone living rough, and whatever he was gripping in his hand did not make Connor feel any safer. Connor watched. He debated with himself. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe he was reading too much into it. But the longer he watched, the harder it became to dismiss what he was seeing.
Rubbed out. Is that a gun? Dude, is that a what the He has a gun. Is that a gun? What the He was just aiming the at me, dude. What the It's a stick? No. No. That's not a stick. That's not a stick. Bro, he's aiming it. Look. He's aiming. It has a barrel on it. Look. That is definitely a gun.
But at some point, he had had enough. Whether the man was holding a lethal weapon or not, the entire thing seemed sketchy to him, and he decided to do what any responsible citizen should do in that situation. Call 911.
He's like, nah, I'm calling it. I don't give a
LA City 911, operator 512.
Alright, yeah, I'm just calling because there's like a, It's like a homeless dude with a gun. Might be a pellet gun, like a long rifle, like gun, but he's like aiming it at like apartments and like cars passing by right here. It's like real sketchy.
Just the intersection.
I'm on Vernon, and it's what's this other street? Avalon. It's west of Avalon on Vernon. He's like aiming it.
Not long after the call, the cops arrived at the scene to deal with the matter.
Yeah, west of Avalon on Vernon. He's in the middle of the street now, walking to the west side of the street, and he's hiding behind like a Honda minivan. But I'm not getting away from him because he's like aiming that. They're passing. Yo, retard! Okay, they don't even want to listen to me. Okay.
But as the officers got closer, Connor started to doubt himself again. What if he had called the police on a man holding nothing dangerous at all? That thought began to eat at him.
It might just be a stick. Is it just a stick? Dude, it might just be a stick. Bro, you guys can't fucking, dude, that looked like no. You guys can't even lie. GG, you're going on the list. GG, 911 abuser. I mean, no, it can't be a stick. They're putting him in cuffs. It had to have been a... Somebody clip it and send it to me so I can show the officers so they don't think I'm a nut job.
Connor could no longer handle his lack of certainty. He wanted to know the truth. So he stepped out of his car and approached the officers to ask what it was.
That poor man? No, that guy, bro. He was aiming. It looked like a dude. That guy. He was like aiming that. Wait, yeah, was it a... What was it? Just so you know, I'm not crazy.
No, I know.
You see that, right? Look at it.
It's a windshield wiper, brother.
It's a windshield wiper?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're going on the fucking pursuit. Damn, bro.
But even after knowing the man wasn't holding a firearm, Connor couldn't bring himself to humbly admit that he was wrong.
It was a windshield wiper. Dude, I don't give a f, bro. No, I don't give a f. Nah, he saw that though. He saw that though. Bro, you guys watch that clip. I don't give a f. I don't give a f. I'm crazy. No, I'm not. Go look at that clip and you tell me that's not a f, bro. You tell me that's not a f. I don't give a f. He's aiming it. He's down on his knees like aiming and fully auto windshield wiper. Whatever, dude. You know what? I'm done. Okay, and then next time it will be a and then somebody's gonna and it's gonna be my fault because I didn't call it in.
Flip the situation. Connor keeps quiet. He stays in his car, tells himself he is overthinking it, and eventually goes back inside. The man with the object, whatever it was, walks away. Now ask yourself, what if the next person that man approached was a child walking home from school? Connor called because something in him said it was better to be wrong and safe than right and silent. Even when the outcome felt embarrassing, that instinct may have mattered more than he will ever know. Internet sensation and outdoor explorer known as Vincent Sear decided to treat himself to a short seaside vacation on a boat. But his adventure didn't go as planned because at some point he was unable to control the boat due to the strong waves. And when he realized he was now stranded in the middle of the ocean, he decided to call 911.
Oh, should we take the look? Hi, I'm on Lake Travis right now. We can't handle the boat. All right, thank you. Hi, I'm at Lake Travis right now, outside of winds. Our sailboat has lost control. We do not have control. Hey! Hey!
Oh, it got serious.
Sir, I can't really hear you.
Suppose Vincent had no phone. or his battery had gone flat, or network signals had dropped out just even before the call could connect. He would be alone on a boat, being pushed further from shore with no way to reach anyone. The ocean does not care who you are or how many subscribers you have. It does not wait. It does not negotiate. The gap between a funny story you tell later and a tragedy that makes the news is sometimes nothing more than a single bar of signal. He had it, and that made all the difference. On this fateful day, YouTuber Anthony Vella had been working toward this moment for a long time. He climbed into his Paramotor, a personal flying contraption, and lifted into the sky. For a brief moment, it all felt exactly the way he had imagined it would. Then something changed. The machine began to behave in ways he could not control. The realization hit him fast. He was going to crash, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. He came down hard.
48 miles per hour, come on, baby! Hey Siri, call 911. Hey Siri, call 911. Call 911. Emergency.
Lying on the ground in serious pain, he called 911 and tried to explain what had happened and where he was.
911 emergency.
Help me, please. I crashed my flying machine.
Okay, where are you at? So, do you know where you're at?
I'm in Enchanted Hills. I'm in the desert. Oh,
Okay, are you in Texas?
Yes, I'm by Abundant Living in the desert, just to the east.
Okay, what was it that you crashed?
A paramotor. Please.
Yeah, do you read those curses? Let me get you transferred real quick. Give me 1 second, okay?
Okay, please.
Do not hang up.
Please.
He waited over an hour for paramedics to respond to the scene. Thankfully, a good Samaritan arrived a couple minutes after the crash and managed to pull the paramotor off of him. He was quickly restored to a stable condition, but suffered a fractured neck, back, and pelvis, and a shattered right arm. Apparently, the crash was due to a small tension knot that he missed, effectively collapsing the glider mid-flight when it snagged. Imagine that the Good Samaritan did not stop, or maybe they slowed down, saw someone on the ground surrounded by wreckage, and decided it looks too dangerous to approach. Anthony would have been there on the field with a fractured neck, unable to move, with a paramotor pressing down on him, waiting alone for over an hour in an open field. And that may have ended his life even before emergency aid arrived. YouTuber Jason the Ween was midstream on a public street when a man began following him. Not just trailing behind, following closely, getting in his space, refusing to back off. The man had a reputation in the area. People who knew Atlanta knew exactly who this was. One of the most dangerous individuals in the city, and he had decided that Jason the Ween was his entertainment for the afternoon. Jason the Ween called 911 while still on camera, still being followed.
But the cops might have to. Alright, I'm gonna call 911 on your ass. About to use the TikTok audio, bro. Ooh. 911. Is he on plan? There you go.
911.
Oh, they're gonna check your location.
But what if there was no stream, no audience watching in real time, just a man being followed down a street with no witnesses and no documentation? Would the stalker have scammed immediately? Would anyone have believed the story afterward? The camera in this case was not just content, it was protection, it was proof. Sometimes the act of filming is the only thing standing between a bad situation and a much worse one. On January 24th, 2025, an Italian YouTuber named Clement set out on a road trip across Italy to explore a series of abandoned locations. From the very beginning, however, the trip did not unfold as planned. On the first day, Clement and his team arrived at an abandoned villa they had been eager to explore. After a long walk of nearly an hour to reach the property, they discovered that most of the building had been sealed off. The main sections of the villa, including the areas they were most interested in documenting, had been blocked and were completely inaccessible.
Impossible de trouver un trou pour se glisser et pouvoir visiter ce manoir qui, nous le savions, était rempli de vestiges.
Still, the trip wasn't a complete loss. While walking around the property, they managed to find a small annex connected to the main villa that was still open. The following day brought a completely different surprise. While driving toward another destination, the team noticed an abandoned building sitting quietly on the side of the road. Curious, they decided to stop and take a closer look. Inside, the building appeared almost frozen in time. Plants had begun growing through cracks in the walls, while piles of documents and old archives were scattered across several rooms.
C'est des archives, mais regardez la végétation qui pousse et qui rentre dans le bâtiment, quoi. C'est magnifique, quoi. Mais c'est fou parce que j'ai poussé la porte, c'était même pas bloqué. J'ai ouvert la porte, quoi, en fait, tout simplement.
Non, mais c'est un truc de ouf. En plus, juste avant, tu dis quoi? Tu dis des fois il laisse ouvert.
Oui, en plus. C'est ça, les amis. Le comble du comble. Moi, j'étais persuadé que c'était l'école abandonnée. Ça ressemble vachement, hein, comme bâtiment.
The most unusual feature was hidden beneath the building. As they explored further, they discovered a network of underground tunnels running below the structure.
Mec, c'est une dinguerie.
C'est sous l'eau aussi.
Ah, c'est ça, c'est un tunnel. Et mec, c'est un tunnel.
Ouais.
Là, ça part à droite.
C'est ça. Et regarde.
C'est pas une cave.
Des bouts de fer qui sortent de.
Mec, c'est carrément ça.
Mec, c'est un bunker.
Je vais essayer de voir si j'arrive à voir à droite.
Vas-y.
Passant la caméra. Et en fait, c'est un tunnel, c'est ça, c'est un souterrain qui devait relier les deux bâtiments. J'essaie de passer la caméra pour que vous voyez. Mais bon, là on n'ira pas dans l'état dans lequel on est. On va pas y aller. Mais c'est vraiment, je pense, un tunnel qui reliait les bâtiments. J'aimerais bien trouver une date.
Based on the design and historical hints around the site, Clement speculated that the location might date back to the period of World War II, when Italy was under the rule of Benito Mussolini. Although the exact purpose of the building remained unclear, the tunnels suggested the site could once have played some strategic or administrative role during that era. However, the most unsettling moment of the road trip occurred when the team explored an abandoned psychiatric hospital. While walking through one of the rooms, they came across what appeared to be traces of blood. The discovery immediately alarmed them and later sparked many questions from viewers after the footage was shared online.
Que je vous invite à visionner si vous ne l'avez pas encore vu. Et enfin, la soirée va se terminer par une macabre découverte dans l'hôpital psychiatrique. Et suite à cette découverte, beaucoup se sont demandé si j'avais prévenu.
Instead, he wrote an email explaining that he and his team were tourists who had discovered something suspicious inside an abandoned hospital. He attached photographs of what they had seen and used translation tools to write the message in Italian. Despite sending the report, he never received a response. It remains unclear whether authorities quietly investigated the situation, were already aware of it, or simply dismissed it as something staged. Either way, it was an unsettling way for the trip to come to an end. On August 14th, 2025, YouTuber Jasko and his team drove out into a forest they had been warned about. People who knew the area had stories about that place. Strange sounds, strange sightings, things that could not be easily explained. Jasko was not sure what to believe. He went anyway.
I camp overnight at some of the most dark and twisted haunted locations, and over my years of doing this, I have encountered some terrifying things, but what we encountered this night will scar me for the remainder of my life. Throughout this night, police were called, sheriffs, park rangers showed up, remains were found in bags inside of this forest. We came across personal belongings not too far from these remains, and all I'm going to say is please watch this video from beginning to end, because, like I said, this is the craziest, scariest, and downright most twisted night.
Guys, listen. This isn't how I wanted this night to go. This isn't how I wanted this video to go. The things that we've been experiencing this night in this forest have been absolutely terrifying. We just had an encounter with the police where they told us they encountered a bag of organs in this forest. They came up to check on us, they made sure everything was okay, but they warned us there's something going on in this forest and it's absolutely horrifying. So you're gonna see everything unfold.
Even before they left the bus, things started happening that nobody could explain away.
Something really... On God, I just seen something move in my mirror. On God.
What?
Beyond those trees back there. So look where those trees are. I just seen something black move by those trees.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all, actually.
Can you zoom in at all?
I'm zoomed. You can try to zoom on if you want, bro.
Ah!
Maybe get out of here. Just go put my camera.
Yeah. What the f?
Later, after the group split up to cover more ground, both Jasko and his teammate Chris heard something coming from deep inside the woods. Voices, sounds that should not have been there.
Guys, I don't know, something feels off right now. Hey, Chris. You all right? Something here? Bro, and I don't think it's spiritual. I don't think it's ghosts. People? Dude, I was sitting down having like a spear box session.
Yes, you will.
And out of nowhere, all you heard was like approaching, running at me.
You see anybody?
No.
Whatever it was, it seemed aware of them. The feeling of being watched followed them no matter where they went.
Figure out. The goal tonight is to figure out, is it Bigfoot, is it paranormal, is it human, is it animal? I want to know what it is.
Fresh.
Hello?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
Like, we came and split up for like 10 minutes without being so paranoid that we run
Bro,
away.
come here for a sec. Look at my camera.
They sat in their car and tried to process it. During that rest, Jasko shared what he had learned about the history of the forest, story after story, from different people, different times, all pointing to the same conclusion that this was not a normal place.
But each has the same unsettling theme. Something is always watching. So for the first one, they call it the hollow stalker, aka the Wendigo. Hunters have claimed to see a gaunt, towering figure, its limbs impossibly long, its joints bending at wrong angles, the skin hangs loose, as if it's wearing the hide of something else. Old stories say the Wendigo was once a man from the 1800s logging camp, driven mad by winter starvation. When the snow thawed, they found him, still alive, but surrounded by stripped bones. Some say the Wendigo still mimics the voices of its victims, luring people off the trail.
Ooh. Sounds spooky.
I don't know. Considering the history of bizarre sightings, the forest has been a pilgrimage site for the curious, reckless, and downright disturbed. Throughout the 80s and the 90s, there were multiple documented cases of trespassers performing rituals deep in the forest. Locals tell of finding burned animal bones arranged in perfect spirals, candles melted into the roots of trees, and crude wooden idols with faces carved upside down. Graffiti in blood-red paint marks certain rocks, inverted crosses, pentagrams, and strange symbols no one can fully translate. Ouija boards have been found abandoned in the forest. Planchettes snapped in half. Paranormal investigators claim the forest answers back.
Then 2 sheriffs arrived. They had just made their own discovery somewhere in the forest, one that lined up with everything Jasko and his team had been experiencing.
Sheriff vehicles.
2 of them.
After we just seen park rangers, so what they just said was they found a bag of animal remains in a forest where satanic rituals have been rumored to happen here with animal remains. Do you not understand how crazy?
That's literally, like, everyone can question our stories all you want, but that's literally the proof that we needed to know this is real. People are doing rituals in this forest to this day. Dude, I'm so uncomfortable. I know there's nothing to worry about, but what the
A bag of organs were found. What?
What is tonight? What is tonight? He's like, no, it's just an animal, nothing to worry about. Are you crazy? That's definitely something to worry about.
I think he's trying to say that to us so we don't kind of like make it something bigger than.
Yeah, but
like a creep mass.
He also said bad stuff happens in this forest.
I know, that's why
He straight up said it.
I didn't have to say it this time.
Then it happened again. A movement outside the car, something shifting in the dark when they had believed they were finally safe. That was enough. They made the decision to leave and not come back.
What the f is my van doing?
How's the radio on?
Dude, honestly, Chris, I'm gonna pack up right now. I don't want to be here anymore.
After that exact moment in the forest is when we decided that it was enough. And honestly, we should have left several hours before that, but we just kept on pushing and pushing. And what's really strange to me is, I mentioned that earlier, but when I do these...
The sheriffs never show up. Jasko and his crew stay in that forest another few hours, chasing whatever was out there, trying to get it all on camera. In the dark, in unfamiliar terrain, with something moving between the trees that even trained law enforcement found disturbing enough to report. The forest does not announce when it has had enough of visitors. It just gets quieter, and sometimes the silence is the warning.